This is Javier with The Real Javier Novoa. We also have a Facebook group at The Real Javier Novoa where you can ask me your questions, and we are having a live case study coming up in the next few weeks. If you like my materials and my videos, please subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and join the Facebook group. Also, if you have any questions that you don't want to ask in a public forum, you can email me at javier_novoa@hotmail.com. Ladies and gentlemen, today I wanted to talk about probably the most important component of our course, and that is getting into state. And I wanted to explain to you what getting into state means and how you can apply the tools of this course, or no tools, or your own tools, to getting and remaining in state. Because state, ladies and gentlemen, is the only way to achieve everything that you want with focus. And state means being in the state of the wish fulfilled from this contest. We talked about a few days ago how being in state was being on those upper rungs of the emotional scale. Being on the upper rungs of the emotional scale are synonymous, or is synonymous with, being in your wish fulfilled. And what is your wish fulfilled? Although you may describe it statically in words, and that is fine because using words is also a tool in this course, defining exactly what you want with words, with imaginations, with images and auditory imagination, and full body feeling, is specifying more your desire. But it goes much deeper than that, and it runs across tools and across processes. So last week we discussed a lot my category on the chain of being that I call context. And context is how the individual or the person perceives his surroundings and that nexus of relationships that are all around him. And that is auditory, visual, and so on and so forth. And this is the most important tool for getting into state. So how do you get what you want through focus? Well, all we have to do is study the greatest performers, the highest performers of every field, including great businessmen, athletes, and so on and so forth, people like Elon Musk, and just see what they do. Like, for example, when Elon Musk went from PayPal to starting a car company, I remember watching a video with him where he said that he believed that he only had, in the physical realm, only a 12 to 15% chance of success. However, what he says is that when he feels like something is worth doing, he doesn't even look at the probabilities or possibilities of success or failure. Rather, he takes massive action on this, and he simply takes the next step in front of him, and he does what we call in this program, and this is a term that I'm borrowing from the great Shlomo Friedman, spiritual teacher, who says, seal yourself in it. Also, Neville spoke about the mustard seed. And we know that when Jesus said, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, then you will be able to move mountains. And many people who do not know how to interpret Scripture say that this is a faith that's small, very small, the size of a mustard seed. But it is not referring to the size of it. It is referring to the quality of the mustard seed, in which, as it is growing, it remains completely and totally sealed and is not taking any other suggestions from the outside world or the outside environment. So, in a sense, it has a complete focus and a complete belief in success, and any other beliefs or suggestions from the outside are sealed off. And this is the way to create, the only way to create what you want. So what you do is you have a very clear idea what you want. And you can either have a general idea of what you want and then allow it to crystallize into a very clear and detailed idea naturally. And this will happen through law of attraction. For example, let's say I want to start a business, and I take the tools and techniques and apply them of this course. I do not allow resistance to come into that equation, and that through contemplation and simply through the stream, law of attraction will bring ideas like the vibration that I'm having by having the idea of having a business, and then it will become more and more specific. And whenever I have a negative emotion, I know that that is the unfolding of more specifics of that situation. Or another way to do it is the way that Tesla described that he did everything. When he was inventing a new device or a new system, he would first work out all of the kinks in his imagination, and he would have a completely detailed picture of every detail of that device, and then he would simply allow that to come to being on the physical. Both of these ways are acceptable because in both of these techniques, you are not adding any resistance to the equation, and you're allowing the thing to unfold. The second technique, probably for us entrepreneurs, is the most fun, whereby we focus and we iron out the kinks of the system in our imagination, and then we allow it to come to us on the outside world, ready-made. So what are we talking about when we say attain the state? We want to attain a feeling or a sense of the state of being surrounded by what we want. And there are many ways to achieve that. So one of the major ways is to actually imagine and picture what you want. And one of the techniques that Neville recommends is that you construct a scene in your imagination that follows the attainment of what you want. And you have to do this. And in our calls that I am going to begin, our consultation calls, I can walk you through the steps of how to do that. So you actually imagine a scene that follows the attainment of what you want, and that implies that you have what you want, and then you continue going to that scene over and over again. That's one technique. Another technique is using self-taught that we taught in this course. And you can either say, I have this, like let's say it's a certain amount of money, I have $100,000, and you can repeat that to yourself until you actually feel the visceral feeling of having that. And it's that visceral feeling that we're looking for. Another way of doing this is to imagine yourself what it would feel like when you attain that, but you're not imagining a certain or any specific scene, rather you're simply holding on to the emotional feeling of that. So what would it feel like to have my own business? Well, it would feel exhilarating. And then what does this exhilaration feel like? And you simply keep practicing that feeling, what Dr. Joe Dispenza calls rehearsing that feeling and memorizing it and getting your body used to it. And you try it on like a garment. And then once you have that feeling as your second nature, that's when the physical changes. So try all of these, my friends. This is what I wanted to recommend to you. Attain state and utilize all of these tools to get into state and watch how it unfolds. And you can talk to us in the comments about your own testimonials as the months go forward. This is how to get in state. And this is also relating to that that category on the scales of being called context, which is spiritual, and it is under personality. That means your personality, even your ego, can manipulate this if you're using the right tools. If you seal yourself and if you completely focus, then you will be able to change your context, and it can be changed immediately, and it does have a time lag as to when it actually unfolds in the physical, but you don't care about that because you're already in the feeling place when you implement these techniques, or when you actually bring about that state simply by focusing on the emotion. And this is the key to rapid progress and the key to surrounding yourself with everything you desire. So thanks guys for watching. We have many great videos being released this week. All right, this is Javier Novoa. Please subscribe and like, and I will see you very soon.